Welcome back to New Day. You know, our sense of style evolves as we get older. Thank goodness, or I'd still be wearing cutoff shorts and leg warmers, which is okay, actually. But getting older doesn't translate to frumpy. Stylist and fashion writer Lisa Cole is here to show us how to evolve our style at any age. All right, Lisa, I admit, I actually didn't ever wear leg warmers, but I definitely hit the grunge era.
But that's kind of classic Seattle.
It is. So, I mean, I was going to be here before my time. Who knew? So do you find that clients really do struggle with defining their style as they get older? I mean, I know I have.
I think sometimes people are a little intimidated by, you know, what's on trend and what's new. And I just feel like everybody needs to kind of put their own stamp on that, you know, and just some things work for some people and some don't, but give it a try.
I went through a real style crisis right after my second child.
Yeah.
And I just didn't know who I was anymore. I was a mom of two. I wasn't, you know. So I really kind of think this is an important topic to discuss. But you have 4 big tips when it comes to defining style and helping us when we do feel lost. First one is never say never. What does this mean?
Well, I think that people see like the high-waisted jean or trouser and they're like, I did that already, you know?
Yes.
Or, you know, something that you've seen a couple decades ago or wore a couple decades ago, it really always comes back, but it comes back with a new twist. So I just encourage people to try things again because it's not going to be the same.
All right, I could feel that. I mean, there are some things, though, that I just don't think would look good anymore.
Right. Well, you have to wear what you love.
Yeah.
Or you're not going to be comfortable, but also keep an open mind.
I'll try to keep an open mind, but these crop tops are mocking me that I see everywhere. You go to buy a t-shirt, it's a crop top. I'm like, come on now.
Yeah, everything's a little short.
All right, you also say shop your closet.
You know, that's a phrase that gets used a lot, and people get a little confused about it. They're like, what does that mean exactly? And I think what it means is that you go into your closet and you curate your favorite things. Like, for instance, I love blazers, and I like all types, short and then longer. And so wearing those in a new way, say maybe an oversized blazer, you would belt it. Or the cropped ones, you can wear like a men's shirt underneath to make it longer. And so just shopping what you have and then wearing it in a new way.
That's genius. I actually have the perfect blazer in mind that I bought back in the day when I was a young reporter, but I've held on to it because I love it, and I'm like, how do I style it? And it's a crop, so men's oversized shirt, I love it. Oh, this one I am all here for is embracing consignment.
I am a big consignment fan. I shop at Refined, and that's a designer consignment shop that I take my clothing there, but I also, I think a third of my closet is probably consignment from there. It's, a lot of it is...
oh, hey, Chanel boots.
I know, never worn, new in the box. And I just happened to like be watching their Instagram feed and saw them and got them. I feel so lucky.
Oh my gosh, they're beautiful.
Dream shoe.
Their dream shoe. It's still an investment, certainly, but an investment that at this point, you will have them for life.
I'll have them forever.
Yeah.
And designer consignment is different than thrifting, which is also a great way to add pieces to your closet.
Yeah.
And both of these ways are like, I feel like they're good for the environment.
Yeah.
And it's kind of recycling, but in a stylish way.
I talked about this a few weeks ago and said, you know, I used to think when I was growing up, it seemed like it wasn't cool to wear thrifted clothing. We didn't call it that. And now it is cool to be more environmentally conscious and, you know, have a more sustainable wardrobe.
Exactly.
Be kind to yourself. That's one we could all use.
Yeah, I think that as we get older, the voices in our head being critical, they can be louder. I have a friend, Patricia, who always tells me, be kind to my friend Lisa. And that, I think, is something I remember a lot. For my 60th birthday this year, I did a photo shoot with the Gray Edit photo.
I love it.
And I wanted to celebrate who I was at that moment in my life and also be a good example to my children about self-love. And I've never been a I'm 29 again person. I'm like, I'm 60 and it's a privilege.
It's a privilege to get older, to be healthy. And I agree with it. You know, I wanted to do a photo shoot when I turned 40 just to mark the occasion, but I told myself no. I said, that seems awfully vain to spend that money. but I like the way you're thinking.
Courtney celebrates women in all the stages of life. That's why I chose to use her, and it was so fun. I highly recommend it.
Okay, I'm here for it. All right, the last one is experiment.
Yeah, I think that just opening up your mind a little to trying new things. For my 60th birthday, I had the opportunity to go over to Paris with my husband.
Oh.
And there's no better place to watch the fashion go by. And it was, I think people have sort of a stereotype about Parisians that they dash around in black, but actually they embrace color. There was a ton of pink.
Oh, yes.
There was a ton of bright green, and it was just really fun to have a front row seat to that.
I love that. This pink coat, is that the one in that picture right now?
It is, yeah.
It's a great
favorite
piece.
Yeah.
It is a great piece.
And all season.
I was going to say it transitions probably really, really well. I love that. So what style advice would you give to your daughter that you mentioned or your younger self?
Just to be yourself and be fearless, and be okay with not following the trends or the norm.
Yep.
And I think my daughter Gracie's done a great job with that. She's a big thrifter and individual in her dressing, and I'm proud of that.
I think you should be. I think that's amazing. I at the time have been, because you're on TV, a lot of people say, oh, you should wear this, why aren't you wearing this? And I think it's really important for me to be authentic here. I got to be authentic here, so.
Well, and it translates to that's the real you.
Yeah.
And I think it just projects happiness.
One last question for you. What is the best fashion advice you've ever received?
I think it was more a validation about being an individual. And so I try to share that with people that ask me about fashion or advice or style, just to keep an open mind, but be true to yourself. If you got to wear what you love in order to project who you are and have confidence.
I love this. I love that when we had this fashion segment scheduled, I was thinking, oh, we're going to be talking about trends. No, you're talking about trends for life, for the rest of your life. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. We'll be having you back.
Okay.